Hey there, I am Link584 of To Monitor, and today's story that I wanna share, it's not really a specific memory, but a bunch of memories that together are combined for one thing. You'll understand in a second. I used to play a game called Maplestory. And in Maplestory, it's pretty much all about fighting. That's really what the whole game is about. You level up and you get new powers and abilities and you get stronger and stronger and stronger. So obviously, since that's the focal point, one of the focal points is killing monsters together, right? So they have guilds. They have guilds that are in the game. Now, guilds weren't always around. Guilds were not always there, but the community was. People working together, friends being made. And the thing that was most interesting to me was I ended up joining a guild. Became a very active member of this guild. I was practically a leader. In fact, after a couple of years, I did become the leader. But that's another story. The story focuses on about a 2-year time frame when our guild had so many ups and downs, but it truly was an amazing group of people. I don't know how we all got along, but we all did. I mean, that's remarkable. You see groups of friends, and sometimes you say, okay, you have 4 or 5 that make up the core group, and then you have a few on the left and a few on the right, and you just, I don't mean politically, I just mean they don't mix no matter what. But we all did. We all got along. We all got along pretty well. It was this great band of people. There was myself under the alias Super Priest. That's my character on Maplestory. I haven't played, and I retired from Maplestory. But I played the game for a good 4 years or so. And the prime of it being when this guild was around. It was led by guild leader Ikugari. And there was also Cleric 9374. He was a co-leader. There was myself, Super Priest. There was Kanyune. She was an archer. Ikugari was a fighter. Cleric 9374. His name was Riku, but he was a cleric, obviously, and I was obviously the same class because my name was Super Priest, and Priest was supposed to be a job advancement down the road for when you become a really high-level cleric. We had just a phenomenal number of people. Drac Bandit, and we were always within the same proximity of levels, and we went on all these great adventures together. As much as I could go into about the individual adventures, I really don't remember them that much. They're just little snippets that are up here, like little things. They're just like a shooting star. It's there, but it's so brief. You just don't. It's lost on me, which is a shame. But I remember these little snapshots, these locations. It was, all I know is the feeling. Very few times do I remember a feeling. I usually remember situations, how things played out, memories, but I don't remember how I actually felt. But all I remember about this guild was it was fun and being happy. Like, it was a great band of friends, and they were always there after school. They were always, we were all the same ages too. It was great. And that's just what we did. We trained separately or together. Usually we did try to do like guild weekend events where we just go into places that we knew were almost suicide, but we went as huge groups together, so it was more likely to survive or just all laugh together. During the week, train separately usually, come back, and I try to be a little bit higher of a level be able to, do my cleric duties, be a little bit stronger though too, try to get ahead, try to be like the head guy. Like if everyone was here, I wanted to be all the way up here, just kind of show off. But that's what we all did to each other. Or made it up in other ways, because we all played relatively the same amount. But there was just something about that guild. Now the guild name, we were Immortalz. That was our guild name. Excuse me. And it was not based off of the movie 300. We were before that. In fact, we were a guild before guilds were officially part of the game. We called ourselves a guild. We were one of the first guilds on the Baroa server of the North American Maplestory. In fact, Maplestory I have other great stories about, but in Baroa, I don't know much any more about the community or whatnot, but back then I knew a lot about it. And I know that we were one of the first. We had our own website, and we officially treated ourselves as a guild, even though we were not tied in through a little tag underneath our names that says, you were part of this guild. So, we just treated it that way. And when guilds came out, we all pitched in, we worked together. And, we always helped one another. If one of us could not pay the fee to add more guild slots, you had to pay more money. Well, we just worked together. Some of us took more of a burden than the others, Like my character after a while was very wealthy. I paid, I made more spots available because I wanted them to have it. And that's the kind of people we were. We worked together. We did the best that we could. And the best thing about it is that this is when we were like the low noobish levels. It was harder leveling back then too, when we joined and we were playing. It was not as easy to get levels as it is now. There was no 4th or even 3rd job advancement at the time when I joined. For those of you who know Maplestory, you know what I'm talking about. But it was good times. It was like levels, 20 to like 55, is where it peaked. It was great. Those were good times. But the guild eventually, we all went our separate ways. Eventually time goes on. And I think that's another story for another day. Let's consider this a two-parter. What happened to the guild once enough time has passed? I became the leader. And I'll talk about my leadership another time. But Mortals Guild, clearly, I believe a part of it lives on within all the people of that guild, because we played for a long time, and we were pretty close. So even though Immortalz is really no more, I guess you could say it's immortally within our hearts. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm Link584. Thank you for joining me on VG Tales.